Hello Aries, great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Aries. One of the first things that did come out here is I'm hearing the word like not fast enough, not fast enough. And I feel like, especially for those of you who are working, who are self-employed, and you're selling merchandise, or you're self-employed and you dictate your own hours. I feel like a lot of you are just very spirited, very energetic, and you move really, really fast. And if you have a person that's working under you, helping you manage, or a person that you're working with, such as a business partner, they're kind of like not pulling their fair share of the weight, okay? And it seems to me as if they're not fast enough. They're not moving fast enough. They're not doing things fast enough. So it's like they procrastinate a little bit, and they're just like, and they're also interfering in your progress. So they're also telling you like, you're working too much. Wait, leave it for another day. And I feel like it's really grating on your nerves. So just be very careful about that. They feel like you're gonna wear yourself out, and that's why they're telling you to slow down, and that's why they're telling you leave it for another day when they're energetically at your level and they can help you with it another day. So don't get frustrated with the people around you, okay? Especially if they're in that capacity. And then I feel for others of you, finances should be really, really good this month. Even self-employed, or if you're working for an organization or a company, if you're working under other people, I feel like finances should be very stable. There will be new contracts coming through, and I see you perusing a lot of contracts, approving for things or rejecting things. So you might be in a capacity where you're analyzing people's applications, whether or not they qualify for a loan, and you're approving them or rejecting them. And you're giving them like, kind of like an addendum, telling them what they need, what other documents you need from them, and other documents as well as, like forms and proof that they need to submit to allow you to further assess their situation or their specific case. The second message that I have here is I feel like you have some roadblocks when it comes to work. And the same energy applies where you might need to wait on the decision of other people, where other people are dragging their feet to figure out if the climate is favorable for them to take the next move. And so it's a little bit frustrating, having to wait on other people because they're just dragging their feet. They're not moving fast enough. And you like to, see things through to fruition. You like to start things and then just, move along like with the same momentum towards the final goal, towards like the ending. And it seems like there are people above you that are kind of interfering, getting in your way. But overall, the communication with higher ups, communication coming through from, authority figures and things like that should be really good for you. The third message that I have here is it seems to me, some of you, especially if you're single, you're dwelling on the past. Like you're dwelling on a past love, you're dwelling on a relationship that for whatever reason fell apart. And I feel like you're still very fixated on it. And you're fixated on it because a big part of you believes that the other person might come back, even though the person might already be with another person and they might have already established a home, established a life. I feel some of you are still fixated, thinking that, oh, what if they come back? I want to make myself single and ready in case they come back. And as a result of that, there are a lot of people interested in you. And some of you are just like, I'm not ready to date yet. Or some of you are turning down those other offers because you're hoping for the ex to come back. So be careful about that, especially if the ex has moved on with another person. Don't interfere, but also move on with your life, okay? Move on. If they're meant for you, they will come back. But either way, putting yourself on hold, depriving yourself of your own joy, and especially of other people who wants to make you happy, that's detrimental to your overall progress, okay? And I'm also sensing a few of you, newly single. You're not ready to date, and that's fine. But if you're not ready to date, I feel like love is going to come to you in, very unexpected ways. And it seems like it's going to come at you fast. And it seems like it might be from a person, some of you in your work environment, from others, mutual friends, like groups that you might get involved in, people who are kind of like on the periphery of your friendship, social circle. I feel like they're coming in, making you offers, and it seems to me like it's very, very unexpected. Somebody that you might thought, oh, they're attractive, and you never thought in a million years that the feelings would be reciprocated. I feel like they're coming in, and they're showing you appreciation, and I feel like dates happening, and it's all happening in a really accelerated time frame, which is good. I feel like that's overall very good. The last message that I have for you here is I'm sensing for some of you, there is this rush of energy about, family planning, settling down, having a property under your belt. The natural progression that we usually associate with career, having a stable home, having children, all of those things. So I feel like there's this big push or this big energy within you where you're rushing, scrambling to have these things lined up because you feel like that's what completion really means, right? And so this energy mirrors your work situation where you feel like, okay, they gave me the okay to start it, and now they're putting roadblocks in front of me, and I can't really advance forward because of all these roadblocks. And you keep pushing and pushing, and you might like physically, energetically, emotionally feel really frustrated. And I feel like the same energy is also playing across your relationships too, where you feel like, okay, there's a beginning and an end. I get a job, I'm stable, I get a house, I get a partner, and then I have kids. And it feels like it's very singular the way that you're looking at things, okay? By the way, this energy is very similar to the Aquarius reading. So if you're involved heavily with an Aquarius, dealing with an Aquarius, you might want to look and see where they're at, because it might explain a few things, why they are dragging their feet or why they are throwing, curveballs in the works. Okay, so it might help to flush out some things that you're dealing with. But I feel like, yes, there is a natural progression to things, but life is all about exploration as well. So if you encounter blockages, it's kind of like telling you, not right now, maybe later. It's not like, a definite no, but it feels to me like there's some things that you're pushing forward with, and they're telling you, slow down a little bit. Maybe not right now, maybe later. Okay, so don't push against the tide. Just ease up a little bit. Conserve your energy. Find another thing to distract yourself with. Focus on you. Read a book. Do some meditation. Do some outdoor activities, because I feel like you're pushing for it and getting a lot of blockages. So ease up on that energy, take a break from it, and revisit it at a later date. So I'm going to talk about this reading, this spread that I have laid out here. A lot of you, for the past, I would say, wealth to create stability for yourself. And for some people, wealth and stability basically means, financial stability so that you can retire, so that you can enjoy your life. And so I feel like you have very solid plans. Like I see a lot of people putting money away in their savings. A lot of people are starting to invest. A lot of people are looking as well into property, like investment property, doing property management so that they can get some type of a residual income, like a second income stream. So you're working really, really hard to secure this nest egg for yourself. You're working really hard to do all of these things while you could potentially be neglecting other areas of your life without knowing. And a lot of you have like boundless energy. Like, you can wake up really early, not have to take nap in the day to feel like re-energized, and you can sleep really late, like burn the midnight oil. So you need like very, very little sleep. But if you keep working like this, you're going to wear your body out. You're going to wear out your mind. And I do sense a lot of you, like they're saying like taking better care of your health overall. Mainly because I feel like there's so much momentum, there's so much ambition poured into getting money, stabilizing, your income sector, so that you can just from the fact that you need that money because you want to have, to be able to explore, to be able to travel, to be able to have all of these other things that you slaved away to accumulate in wealth. You felt very deprived. Your ability to travel, your ability to, relax on a beach, for example. So just know that, these things don't have to happen one after the other. They can happen at the same time. So slowing down a little bit and not being so hard on yourself, not scramble for all this, because we can live very simply. So maybe figuring out, maybe there's a better way to do this, because I feel like you're looking at things in a very singular lens. A, B, C, D has to happen so that I can feel good, so that I can feel on top of the world, so that I can feel successful, and so that I can feel productive, because productivity is something that you highly value. And so when you encounter blockages that really thwarts your effort in terms of creating that process, that chain A, B, C, and D, where things fall neatly into place so that you can advance to the next step. When things are being thwarted, you want to also figure out, what else can I do in the meantime? And I feel like one of the things that will be able to break you away from this is focusing. This is your essence here. It's a Wands energy, and it's the Ace. So it basically talks about, aim for things that really inspire you, aim for things that bring out your creativity. And I feel like with Aries people, you're usually very athletic. So doing outdoor activity, getting involved in intramural sports, or getting involved into, group associations as well, like linking up with other people, doing something that will allow you to give back to your community service, coaching, training. I'm seeing a lot of coaches, people coaching like children for intramural sports, or even reading to children. And you're doing this like out of the goodness of your heart, because this is a card here of charity. So getting back to the root of these things, I feel like it's going to make you feel really happy, and it's going to make you feel a lot more connected to other people. So rather than pushing so much, like so fast and so like full speed ahead to scramble for all of these financial resources, I feel as well promoting and maintaining your social relationships. So don't step on people's toes. Don't move so fast that people feel like you're not emotionally available to forge those human connections with them. That's going to be really important for you, okay? So I wish that you would slow down a little bit and focus on this, okay? This is kind of like helping other people. So especially if you're in a work environment that is very cutthroat, a lot of people forget, the social niceties. They forget social etiquette. And I feel like reinventing this. This is, helping other people, doing something out of the goodness of our hearts. And especially like charity, community service, and things like that, that would be really good for you. If you are looking for work in particular, you have a major job offer that's going to be in the picture for you. And I feel for some of you, the work sector, it feels to me as if you, especially for those of you with a desk job, or you're, in a helping capacity, you want more out of life. You want more out of your work environment. You want to leave the office, leave the comfort and stability and the stagnation of the office, so that you can branch out and connect with other people. So I do see a lot of people wanting to do like project coordinators, community outreach, advocacy types of work. You want to be in the public limelight, where you're giving seminars, you're teaching, or you are, wanting this, okay? And so if this is kind of like a long held, cherished dream of yours, and the work environment itself is very mundane, and you feel like I need to do something new, you have a big job offer that's going to be on the horizon. You have a lot more control and sway over how you can manage your time, what projects you do, and which ones you don't need to do. So I feel like you have a lot more leeway as to how to create and customize that work environment, especially the new work environment, so that it is perfectly on par with your energy. Okay, so we have some really positive things going here. Um, they're mentioning for some of you, if you are looking for work and you have some interviews lined up for this month, um, one thing that might be really, really good for you, especially if you are doing community service, have that on your resume. Okay. They're saying like a need to have to express or to highlight some type of community service that you're doing. And the community service doesn't mean like, I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart, but it basically denotes like you're going, that extra step, you're going above and beyond to give back to the community when you didn't have to. And you're showing leadership capabilities on top of that. So I feel like downplaying, the accomplishments and rather emphasizing how great of a team player you are, emphasizing how willing you are to, step up to the plate and help other people, and how much you're willing to share and share your best practices with other people. That's going to be the catalyst to allow you to have a lot of success, to have a lot of job offers coming through, to have a lot of requests for people, from people, for you to come in for job interviews. Okay, so that's really important. And I do feel for others, new work situation is going to also bring about new housing situation. And I'm also seeing new housing situation. The Ace of Wands is like a new project, and there's a house in the back, so it's usually indicative of, selling property, liquidating assets, liquidating, your place of living, or changing up your place of living, or even doing some type of home improvement project as it relates heavily to your place of living. And I feel like if you feel frustrated, you can devote your time to that. It's really going to up your property value. And it's really going to allow you as well to build and accumulate a lot of wealth for yourself. Okay, so I feel like you have a property that is appreciating in value really, really quickly. So maybe if you're thinking about moving, especially if you're thinking about moving, shifting to a new house, it might be a good idea to not sell that property, but rather rent it out or hire like a property manager to rent it out. And then you shift yourself into a new house while maintaining that revenue stream through renting it out. Okay, so I feel like that's going to be beneficial. For those of you who are dealing here with an air sign, and we have an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, this is the energy of somebody who is I feel like they're feeling a little bit down. They're doubting their competency, they're doubting their capabilities, and they need a little bit of a boost from you. And I feel like you're your energy is so directed, Aries, and I feel like once you have your mind set on something, you push forward and you always get to achieve what you want. And I do sense a lot of it is your energy is very directed, it's very clear. And then this person, they're mired in a lot of self-doubt. They're mired in a lot of like negative thinking. So sometime this month, you're going to encounter the energy of this person. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I feel like this is a really, really smart person. But for some reason, they're feeling really frustrated. Like things are not going their way. And I feel like they're going to come to you with some pointers as to, I want this job. How do I get there? Or I want this job. Do you know anybody that you can introduce me to? Or they're going to talk heavily to you about work. They're going to talk heavily to you about, their financial situation, but also mainly their work, how they can achieve their work. Are they doing something wrong? Are there pointers that you can give them? Can you steer them in the right direction? And I feel like they're coming in a way where, emotionally they're very distraught, but they don't show it because the energy of an air sign person is they've got a lot of pride. So that's coming through. And I feel for some of you, this might be like a sibling. Others of you, this could be like somebody that you're traveling to see, or they are traveling to see you. So it could be a friend, a sibling. I'm not seeing so much significant other, but I feel like that could also be if you're married to them. But I feel like there's this energy here about you having a lot of success. They're coming to you because they're lacking in that and they need some pointers. And I feel like you're going to be able to help them, okay? There's a lot of energy here about you helping other people to make things better for other people. And you're doing it mainly because you enjoy it, but I feel like you're going to reap a lot of benefits along the way in your ability to give your time, freely give your time to help other people so that you can empower them. If you're looking for, if you're out there, not really sure about which direction to take, you might have had a few jobs under your belt and you're just like, it's not really right for me. So you're trying to figure out, what are my skills? What are my skills? What can make me really happy? Where can I apply my skills so that I can help other people? Or where is the most productive avenue for me to utilize my skills? And I feel this element here about community outreach, a career center representative, for example, so you can help other people find jobs. You can review their resumes and their job applications, cover letters, and things like that, and give them pointers. Or even working in a capacity where you're reaching out to a lot of members of the community to get projects going, to get funding for a specific organization. That's where it's a really good way for you to channel your energy to get things done for other people. And I feel like that energy is going to carry to in for you to get a lot of things done, a lot of success, and a lot of wealth overall for for yourself. Okay. So the last card that I want to um, end this with here, we do have the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is needing a break, needing some rest, not pushing your physical body beyond its limitations. So I do sense that you want to slow down a little bit so that you're not wearing yourself down. And especially, I know that some of you like to have things a specific way. And you want it done in a specific manner, you want it done a specific way, you want it done in a specific set time. And people around you, they might not be fast enough for you. They might not do things the exact way that you want. And so I would urge you, delegate. Okay, a good leader needs to delegate. A good leader needs to like understand, the I guess like the good and bad qualities in each of his or her subordinate so that they can delegate and get things done without having to oversee and micromanage everything. And if you are able to relinquish a little bit of control in that regards, especially in the work front, you're going to get so much things done and you're not going to be scattering your energy and you're not feeling worn out and sick as a result. So be careful about that, okay? There's heavy work energy. It's going to be coming through for you. There's going to be a lot of success. I feel like possibly in 4 months, there's going to be a lot of momentum left. And, it's just going to alleviate a lot of these things for you. Okay. But don't wear yourself out. Whenever we encounter blockages, it's telling us, the universe telling us to stop a little bit, examine what we're doing and examine what we're trying to do. Because I feel like there might be a disconnect there. It's not coming in as, something internally from you, but there might be a better way, a faster way, a more productive way to do things, okay? So I'm going to go into your love reading here, Aries. Give me just a moment. So let's see what's in store for you. Love, romance, and relationships. I'm seeing newly single people trying to meet other people and trying to figure out what's the best way for me to do that so that I don't have to, go through like the facade, go through the contrived, dating experience. So I feel like you just want somebody that is ready-made with a framework for a relationship. You don't want to play the field. You don't want to have to go through, so many awkward first dates. Okay, so I feel like you're being a lot more selective about the type of person that's coming in your environment and the type of person that you want to seek, which is really good. And I'm glad you're taking the time off to, really identify the qualities that you're looking for and what you want out of the relationship. Because I feel like, knowing what we want is the first step to being able to attract what we want. So I'm really happy to see that for you, Aries. Okay, I'm feeling like they're saying like mobility is limited in relationships. I don't know what that means. I don't know if like you have outgrown the relationship and you're trying to figure out, how do I leave? And you're not somebody that, if somebody restricts you physically, you don't like that. And you would be able to leave without a problem. So I feel like they're not abusing you or anything like that, because you would just leave in a heartbeat. You wouldn't care. But I do feel that you're with somebody that you like quite a bit. There are a few problems when it comes to timing with this person. You might not be able to, um, they're saying like feeling restrictive, right? And so I feel like there might be time constraints that's disallowing you to see the other person. And then I'm also feeling like maybe you both have a lot of people in your housing environment, respectively. So you might have, children, family members, elderly parents, roommates, and you can't really um, have your love relationship partner come in every day. And then they likewise have a lot of things happening in their environment and a lot of people. So you can't just randomly stop at their house. So it feels to me there's an element here about two people needing to work out their schedule, and their schedule might be disrupting their ability to get together and enjoy each other's company. And I'm also feeling as well, we have some clandestine relationships happening. And we have here the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is a situation that is a little bit kind of like under the radar. You might be sneaking around to see each other for whatever reason. Maybe your parents don't approve, or maybe your partners don't know about it. But I do feel this element here about feeling a little bit stuck and feeling like you have some restrictions upon you when you want to see a specific person, okay? I'm also sensing that this situation is going to alleviate this month. And there's a lot of travel between you and a significant others that's coming in the works as well. So, for example, if you're taking a vacation, right, with your significant other or whoever it is that you're dating, you might need to tell some white lies to your company, telling them like, oh, I'm sick. Or, like, oh, I'm not feeling well this Monday. Can I take Monday off? And it's like you're traveling. So I do see some sneaky behaviors here. I'm just going to leave that alone, okay? But let me talk about the past, because I feel like this is something that I saw for you guys. First of all, because this is showing up in the past, I feel like you were dealing with somebody that brings you this. The Ten of Cups basically means two people who are almost like kindred spirits. They fulfill each other emotionally. And it's a really nurturing, stable, emotionally rewarding type of relationship. You might be, different elements, but there's some astrologically, there's some type of overlay. So it could be like, if you're an Aries, and they might have an Aries moon. Might have their Venus and their Mars in Aries. So there's a lot of chemistry. There's a lot of attraction. There's a lot of like this great sense of the relationship built on compatibility, and the relationship being built on friendship and camaraderie. So together, the two of you work really well as a unit. What we have as well here is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands basically means that not only do you like each other and get along, but you have really strong attraction for one another. So this person, I feel like some of you are with this person right now. And there's an element here about, taking a lot of trips together, heavily traveling together with this person, but there is some lingering trust issues that needs to be resolved. It doesn't feel at all like it's bad, because I feel like you're going to be sailing away from these clandestine, relationships, but also sailing away from issues, problems, trust issues, especially associated with this person. So it looks very good, okay? Moving forward into the present environment, I'm sensing that there is a huge pregnancy vibe, okay? Very, very big. And so if you're expecting, congratulations. If you're not, take care of yourself accordingly so you don't end up with unwanted, pregnancy. This goes for males and females as well, okay? It takes two. But I feel like especially for women, The Two of Cups basically means that, you've met somebody like a soulmate. You've met somebody that you feel really safe, and you want to take the relationship to the next level. You might be engaged, wanting to get married, and then the pregnancy happens before the marriage ceremony. There's nothing wrong with that, but I would urge you to be careful. Just, plan it out thoroughly. Um, I'm also feeling as if there is a major, major conversation. Some of you singles going on dates, right? And you're just like, this is what I want. I want to have a family. I want to have a kids within, let's say 2 years. Okay. And your partner they're telling you, they might be telling you what you want to hear. Yes, I want to have children too. Or yes, I want to have a family. Yes, I want to settle down, get married within 2 years. And you are highly intuitive, though, Aries. Their actions need to match up with their words, otherwise you're going to leave them in the dust. Okay, so I feel like the time for you to kind of like wait around for other people is not really happening anymore. You're taking charge and you're taking ownership, and if somebody is just like telling you what you want to hear rather than telling you their true intentions, it's going to become very clear to you, because your power of perception is really strong here with this Empress card. And so, singles dating, put your intentions out there. And if the other person is still, like behaving in an irresponsible manner, as if they don't really want a child, or if they don't want a relationship in their life, you're going to need to leave them behind. Okay, so big pregnancy vibe, big vibes about setting boundaries and not budging from what you want. Okay, so this is really good to allow you to attract like-minded people. And also, we have opportunities here for you, excuse me, with this Two of Cups. This is a really good relationship. It can bring you total emotional fulfillment. And I'd also feel for some of you, this is coming in, they mentioned, in a very unexpected way. It's somebody that you might have known, or they're kind of like in your periphery. And now you're seeing them in a new light, and you're seeing how compatible you both are. You're getting to know them a little bit more, and everything just clicks in a really uh, I want to say like synchronistic manner. It's like you were blinded to it before, and now that you're taking the time to get to know them, you might realize you have the same ideals, you have the same goals. And so this is a really big compatibility card. Okay, so I feel a lot of proposals happening for you guys this month, especially as well, engagement rings here we have here. Coming into the future position, the Ace of Coins, and this is basically as it relates to Ten of Cups, Two of Cups. This is engagement. And I also have here the Devil, and the Devil is basically having somebody in your environment that you are very, very, very attracted to, very attracted to. And the relationship, the Devil doesn't have to be bad, but I feel like there might be an earth sign in your environment. So I have here Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and I also have a water sign. So this is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio.